What is up, everybody? Welcome.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, that was a big yawn.
Yeah, I just eliminated all oxygen from this room. What a day. Holy crap.
Oh man, yeah, I feel you there, man. It's been a long couple days.
Doing
Good
anything
time though.
cool?
Just working on a clone of a game for a client. Just something little,
Okay.
trying something out. Rebuilding a little bit of Fruit Ninja action, but on a
Hey,
web page
yo.
instead of on a mobile phone. So
Interesting.
yeah, I have to wrap this one up, and then I'm gonna work on my next mobile game project for the web. So we're gonna make one of my friends and I. He's a concept artist. We're gonna make a remake of what's it called? Um, Doodle Jump. There you go.
Hey,
It's a web-based Doodle Jump. So for mobile phone, should be fun.
is that Connor?
Yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna start a little studio together.
I actually have Connor doing an official Breadbox logo for
Oh
us.
heck yeah!
So, Breadbox merch coming in hot, chat. Gonna be great. Yeah, Brett. Connor does awesome. If you guys don't know, Connor is actually the guy who did a lot of the concept art for the cosmetics that are currently in Cell VR. So like he came up with like the Cannoneer, the Blackbeard. Like he is just one of the most talented artists. And I currently have him making some Breadbox logos, like an official bread looking Xbox logo. That'll be the official Breadbox logo that we're gonna turn into some merch. So you heard it here first, guys, live on the Practical Reality Podcast.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be fun.
Dude, he just does such a great job. Like
Yeah, Connor's a fantastic artist. So,
I've loved working with him. He's just done just fantastic.
whoa, uh,
He turned on light mode.
now you can see how wide I really am.
See, I have
There's
my
zero
light
sun.
tinted, so it looks like I'm tanner than I actually am.
There you go.
That's all there. Yeah, welcome, guys. This is the Practical Reality Podcast. If you haven't been here before, we talk about gaming, we talk about tech, we talk about just kind of lots of stuff that's going on. My name's Garrett. I'm a virtual reality developer. I got my buddy here, Declan, who does a lot of
What's up?
stuff in the augmented reality space. And we got stuff to talk about today, dude.
Yeah.
Because I got this thing. Hang on, it's stuck.
Oh yeah, you wanted. I forgot you got that thing. That's the PlayStation Portal. You're muted now, so can't hear you at all.
There we go. I
There you
touched my
go.
microphone that has very sensitive thing. Also, screw this camera for zooming in every other time I put anything up. Yeah, PlayStation Portal, dude. I got it last Thursday, and I've been using it for like a week almost. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but let's do our gaming wins and losses before I jump into that.
Okay.
There's stuff going down.
Do you want to start?
Do we want to do wins or losses?
Doesn't matter.
So
What would you
let's
prefer?
see. One of the losses, I think
Okay.
that's kind of scary.
Uh-oh.
I watched an interesting video on the whole TikTok ban that's going down, right?
Yeah.
And someone was pointing out that, like, okay, like, hey, like, if it's truly, if the actual issue that the government is trying to prevent is keeping Chinese-based companies out of the United States, then they're about to take a bunch of great studios out of the states if
Oh, for sure.
that actually goes into effect. And they pointed out like the new Marvel Rivals game is made by NetEase, which
Yep.
is in based out of China. Fortnite has like 10% ownership by Tencent.
Yeah.
So like Fortnite would be out like someone just pulled in the actual scope of
Yeah.
what like the TikTok ban would create on the gaming space, and I was like, dude, that's scary. Like I don't think the government wants to piss off gamers, so I thought that was a major L.
Yeah.
But
Well, I guess
yeah,
my L is kind of around the same topic. I mean, did you see Marvel Snap went down for a day
I
too because
did,
of
yeah.
their publisher? I think they're published by Tencent, is it?
I do think it's Tencent, if I'm not mistaken.
So they have to now look for a different publisher.
Really?
Yeah, so they don't want that to ever happen again. So, it was Snap. Snap. Is that what I said? Not.
Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the card game, right? The mobile card game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they have to look for another publisher because if that ever happens again, oh, it's published by Nuverse, but it's a Chinese company. So
gotcha.
that ban went into place. It banned them, and they had to shut down their servers in America.
Yeah, it is interesting though, because like I was talking to my father-in-law who does a lot of business with China,
Yeah.
and he pointed out a couple of interesting things. He's like, like we're all sitting here being like, what's it? Why is it a big deal if China's in the United States? But he pointed out, he was like, like you are not allowed to do any kind of business in China other than like manufacturing. Like you
Yes.
can't own a company there. You can't like own real estate, whereas we let them do that kind of stuff anyway. I mean, I don't want to get too political on it, but it was kind of an interesting point that he
Yeah,
made.
and it was. I mean, it was pretty crazy that so many like companies I didn't think about were affected. Because
So
like one of
many.
League of Legends' biggest competitors is a mobile game, and they had to remove that game from the App Store for a little bit as well. And
That's
like I'm
crazy.
one of the idiots that decided to delete TikTok when it went down, so now I can't download it again.
You
But
fool.
yeah, it's just crazy how much that's like affecting everything already.
Yeah. No, it definitely kind of an interesting thing. And it's crazy. Like I often told people during the election, like some people were asking me, like, oh, who are you gonna vote for? And I was just kind of like, it doesn't really matter to me because it's not gonna affect like the gaming space. But then I didn't realize like how much this law affected the
Yeah,
gaming space. And I was like, whoa, because like there wasn't really any political issues that would like affect me directly
yeah,
as far as like being a game developer. I feel like that's usually not the case, but holy crap, man, it's like this is the first time where I've been like, whoa, government's stepping on gaming toes. That's not a hornet's nest you want to kick, my friend.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, anyway, that's kind of a big L. It's a big L in the gaming space, not going to
Yeah.
lie. It's too bad.
And what about your wins?
Dude, I'm honestly gonna say this is a win.
Really?
I might be weird with like my use case with this, but
Yeah,
like this thing is awesome. All
yeah,
right. Like, first off, I love the form factor. Okay. Like just like having the screen and stuff, like all right here. The controllers are the same as the dual sense. So you've got like the feedback, you've got the like rumble and stuff. And then the screen is like fantastic. Um, like the way that I have my setup set up is like it is now I can take this thing anywhere I want as long as I have Wi-Fi connection. Like I can
yeah,
connect to my PlayStation anywhere in the world and play a PlayStation, which is like kind of weird. Like
yeah.
that's not exactly how I would do it. Like if I were in charge of Sony, but like just the fact that like one thing I've been doing lately, like at night, is I'll go sit on the couch with my wife, and instead of having to be in my office where my PlayStation is, I can just bring this thing with me, like hang out with my wife and be playing Helldivers while she's watching her show or whatever, you know? Like
That is pretty nice.
it's pretty nice. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And like I've had some people ask me about like the latency. So like here, I'll show you. Oh dang it, it's all covered up. So like I've got my PlayStation right there
Okay.
now. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
sitting cool like on my display, which is awesome. And then it's just Ethernetted into my Wi-Fi connection, and I can just play it anywhere I got Wi-Fi. So anyway, that's been super fun, and it's been super responsive. Like the latency isn't bad at all. Like I've been able to play Helldivers on Helldive, which is like the second to hardest
Oh,
thing, and
wow.
compete just as well as I would if I were playing on
That's
a
awesome.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
So like latency hasn't been a problem. It's been super nice. The form factor is great. Battery life is incredible. Like straight up, like I'm loving this. And like the whole idea that the gaming, like Xbox has been teasing a handheld Xbox device. And I'm all for it, dude. I'm loving this. The new Switch 2, that's the other big W we got to talk about, dude.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine, I guess. I'd
Okay.
take the easy one. The
Yeah.
Switch 2, it looks so good. It
Yeah.
was
What?
like
Holy
the
crap.
reveal video, I don't know, it got me hyped. I don't even play my Switch a ton, but now I want to Switch 2, so
Right? Dude, like that video, I don't know what it was about it, but it was just like, that was one of the most fun videos I've watched in a long time. It was great.
yeah.
And like, everyone's kind of being like, oh, they didn't really improve much. Like, we don't know that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they could
I've heard there's
possibly be fitting, like,
massive.
imagine, like, the hardware they had before. Again, the Switch is like 8 years old at this point.
Yeah.
But the amount of hardware that they could fit into it now with some of the stuff that they've got in it, bro, like straight up, I'm thinking that thing is going to be powerful. Like the new Mario Kart looks
For sure.
incredible. 24 players, dude. Like,
That's gonna
let's
be fun.
freaking go. I'm so down for that. And then one of the things that I saw that people were talking about is, did you see that whole part where they stuck on the thing and it was like sliding? You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah,
controllers were sliding. People were
yeah.
saying like, oh, they're gonna do a bunch of like mouse type functionality. I was like,
That'd be
that
interesting.
would be interesting, right? Like
Dude, we have to stop.
something there.
Moonlight just gave you a $50 dono. That's dope.
Wait, whoa. New Smash Bros, bro. I'll smash the crap out of that for that $50 dono. Moon, thank you so much, guy.
I don't know. Smash Bros is one of those things where it's like, could they ever do it again? I don't know.
I mean, so what's your history with Smash Bros? Where did you
I've
start
played
playing
since 64.
Okay, you started on 64.
Yeah.
So I started actually on GameCube. So I played
Okay.
Melee. And then I actually went back to 64 because one of my friends still had it. And he was like, bro, you want to play Smash Bros? And I thought we were going to play GameCube. And he hands me a 64. I was like, what is this? And then I played the crap out of the GameCube version. And then I stopped playing it on the Wii. Like Brawl did not hit with me. I didn't like it. It was too slow. And so I kind of gave up on it. And then I did buy it for the Switch when I got a Switch. I played it with you a few times in college.
Yeah.
We brought it down, but I just felt like I don't know. I didn't have the same
straight
thing
through the night.
Yeah.
Until I unlocked all the characters when it came out on the Switch.
Wow.
So I played a lot of it. I would go to, there was a server, like a LAN house that we'd go to near campus in college, and we'd play Super Smash Bros. In tournaments. Like it was a ton of fun.
So fun. It's so fun.
It was so like crazy when they were announcing all of the IP and the collaborations that they were doing. And like back then, especially, that was before the era of like Fortnite. I feel like all their crossovers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, dude, Moonlight donated again.
Moonlight, bro, my guy. Thank you so much.
I think you have to smash Bros,
but not Smash by the.
I think the 150 dono is the Smash Bro limit.
Yo, freaking Smash Bro limit hit. Guy's crazy. Moonlight, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Dude, I don't know. So one of the reasons I've gotten into Smash Bros again is actually because you can buy GameCube controllers for the Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm playing on the controllers that I was the best with, but I could play the modern game. And like that's been a ton of fun, dude. I really love some of this new stuff people are doing, like making GameCube controllers that work with the Switch. Love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed Smash. I played it on just a Pro controller because that's what I was used to after playing on the Switch a little bit. I feel like the Switch controller was similar. Yeah. Like I played on the Switch Pro one as well, on the Wii. I had a controller for the Wii, so I always played on that. But I played it on the GameCube. It wasn't my favorite. I always played. Holy cow!
Moonlight, I don't know if I can repeat what you said on the stream, my guy, but hey, thanks again for the dono. Oh my goodness.
Moonlight is the GOAT.
Moonlight is the official top dono of all time history. Garrett the Gamer, my guy. New record. That's achievement unlocked. Holy crap. Yeah, dude. I don't know. So, like, will they make a new one, you think, for Nintendo Switch 2? You think that would be good for them to do? What are your thoughts?
So the guy who kind of runs Smash, the guy who's the creative genius behind Smash, said he didn't want to do it again because it was a lot of work. I can imagine it was a lot of work, but yeah, just getting like the IP crossovers and stuff sounds so complicated.
I'm sure.
I think it would be I think it would be fun, but actually Smash is kind of getting taken off of like the top platform fighter like pedestal right now. Like, Smash has been the best platform fighter forever. Well, now there's the Rivals of Aether or whatever that Ludwig and his company is publishing.
Right.
So a lot of people have been playing that and they've said that's their new favorite platform fighter. Like all these companies have tried. Smash has always been at the top, but this one's actually getting really good reviews. So it'll be interesting to see if they want to try and retake that. I feel like they have to. They've done a Smash for every single console that's come out. Like it'd be crazy for them not to. I guess non-handheld consoles, but
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Like I wouldn't be opposed to just having them just bring the existing Smash up. You know, like they had the whole section in their reveal where they're like, yes, we are going to be backwards
yeah,
compatible with Switch games, and I think that might be part of the reason. It's like there's not really too much of a reason for them to like make a whole new Smash when it's great. Like the graphics are great. Like what could they do with it? You know, like just keep bringing characters to it would be better than
yeah,
anything, right?
yeah. Everybody's saying like DLC. Everybody in chat saying DLC. I could see them doing
I
some
can see that.
DLC.
I can see that.
I just think that Fortnite kind of showed that other companies are willing to do brand deals and like give IP over to other companies like they did in Fortnite. Like the fact that we have Master Chief and freaking Star Wars and Avengers
Anime, there's like
and
tons of anime
anime.
characters
Yeah.
that are in it now.
I
Like,
think
yeah, that's
Smash
nuts.
could do something cool, but
Oh, PC Game Boy just had a $2 dono. Thank you so much, PC Game Boy. Opinion on Sony canceling many upcoming games.
yeah, I saw that.
I have not seen this, and I need to see it. Let me. What's going on there?
Um I saw something saying that because of the huge failure that was oh, what was that game even called? Their stupid like hero shooter that they made that tanked within like 3 days of
Concord.
release. Yeah, because of Concord, they had to cancel their God of War, their new God of War sequel. Like they had to close a ton of stuff because of a $400 million loss from Concord.
It was actually 400 million. Holy
Yeah.
crap! Holy
So
crap! Let's see. It says there was going to be a Horizon MMO that Sony canceled. What else? I'm seeing.
I saw God
Also,
of War earlier today.
let me see if
And a
ChatGPT can
future
read the list.
Star Wars project is what I saw.
No.
So
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's fine. It's been a minute since we've had a good Star Wars project. Although, what's everyone's opinion on the Jedi one they just come out with? Fallen Jedi, Jedi Order, or whatever it's called. What's it called? The one with Cal Kestis? What is that called?
I haven't seen that one.
Lost Jedi? The Last Jedi? No,
Okay.
something like that. That's the last pretty good Star Wars game I can think of.
Yeah.
Let me look this up. So
Milo, I saw they canceled it, not just delayed. I saw it was a cancellation of God of War, which would be crazy. That's like one of their best selling IP. I can't imagine them canceling God of War because of something stupid from Concord, but that'd be devastating. I love the new God of War. I love the new storyline. Like everything's so good with it.
okay, so according to ChatGPT, which again, this is just chat searching the internet and giving us this. It says that they canceled a Horizon MMO. So there's going to be some kind of Horizon MMO thing. There's going to be a God of War live service game by
Okay.
Bluepoint Games.
Gotcha.
I can see their reservations on that, especially with what happened with Concord.
Yeah.
And then some kind of unannounced project by Ben Studio. And again, it looks like it was some kind of live service. It kind of looks like they're backing down on live service stuff.
I get that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, kind of my opinion on that is I do think that Sony has realized that their bread and butter is like those story rich games.
Yeah.
And
Like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, they've done The Last of Us. Like their
yeah,
storytelling has killed it. I mean, like Robo whatever, the one that won Game of the Year.
Astrobot.
Yeah, Astrobot. I keep on thinking Robo Recall, but that's a completely
That's a
different
VR game.
Astrobot. Yeah, Astrobot, which they announced new DLC. That's gonna be fun. But
That's cool. I need to just try it. I've been spewing so much crap about it. And I haven't even tried it. I need to just one day on stream. We'll just play it. It'll be fine.
I kid you.
We'll try it.
I did want to share one more win for the week.
Oh, do it. Let's hear it.
So Balatro, indie game. Dev thought he
Balatro.
was gonna sell like 10 copies. That's legitimately the quote. He's like, I thought I was gonna sell maybe like
Is he
10
billionaire now
copies
or
of the game.
something?
He just hit 5 million sales. That's a huge win for a weird genre of indie game. That just kind of proves like people are willing to play anything, and they're looking for anything that will change it. And if it's priced correctly, like they will spend money and it will be successful. You don't have to go crazy. You can make something small and different and fun, and people are willing to spend money on it. So to me, that's a
It's
huge
beautiful.
win.
That's beautiful. I
Yeah.
like that is literally the thing that I love the most about being a game developer is these unknown projects that pop
Yeah.
out of the blue, and all the time I'm always saying it. It's like, oh man, I wish I'd thought of that. But like at the same time, I'm so happy for that guy.
Yeah,
Like I
for
just
sure.
love that he had the success he has. I love that it's like brought up this whole new genre. Like we're gonna get some really cool card games because that guy figured out
Oh
one
yeah,
cool thing. People are gonna
definitely.
iterate on that. Like that's what happens in game development, dude. And that's why I love the indie game dev space, is because it just so much creativity, so much cool stuff's out of it. I just
Yeah.
love hearing success stories like that. I was actually talking to a guy today who was telling me that like one of the most successful spaces that's the least saturated right now on Steam is deck builder games.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
for
he
sure.
said like the median, he was saying some crazy numbers about like on average, and the median number or median of like revenue for those games is just like incredibly high, and there's just not too many of them. So I need to jump into some deck builders. I know you've been obsessed with deck builders,
Oh,
but
I love deck builders. I love like board game deck builders too. One of
hmm,
my favorite board games is a Marvel deck builder game.
okay.
Um, and yeah, I mean, let me figure out what that one's called.
So okay,
Because
deck builder is like where you like have a character and you acquire cards and it like ups your like powers and stuff, right? Like, am I wrong on that? Because then if that's the case, there is a deck builder that I've played quite a bit.
so this one's called Legendary, Marvel Legendary.
Marvel
So
Legendary.
essentially, what happens in a deck builder is you start with a base deck. So everybody has the same deck, and you have resources to, in Legendary specifically, you have resources to do damage to enemies, but then you have recruiting points to recruit new cards into your deck. So
Cool.
you start with like 6 cards that are available, you do a bunch of stuff, and then you buy new cards to put inside of your deck. So the next time you shuffle it, you have new cards inside of your deck that you can do next time you play against a new enemy. So you keep on building your deck. You want to build different metas. There's different deck builders. One of my favorite kind of deck builder genre game right now, it's not necessarily a deck builder, but it's really, really close, is called The Bazaar. We've talked about
Okay.
it on here before.
Okay.
One of the guys that I used to watch live stream Hearthstone a lot built it, and you buy different items, and then they do different like abilities on different timelines and stuff. So it's just basically you start with a very easy base level, and then you just add in more cards and more abilities to try and make this ultimately busted build, which it's a deck builder roguelite, because
Okay.
roguelites you're trying to do that all at the same time too. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
And there's so many different genres of them, but they're right. Like deck builder card or deck builder video games have grown a lot in popularity, but there's still not a ton of them. So I have a couple that I really like, that I can share if people are interested in it. But I can pull up my
Yeah.
Steam page and remember what a couple of them are called. Let me grab up Steam then real fast.
Yeah, no, wrap it up. No, it's very interesting. That's kind of a, again, like everybody knows, like I'm a pretty FPS heavy guy. I'm a shooter dude, but I'm trying to expand. Like, I'm pretty excited because I told chat that once we hit 500,000 subscribers, we would jump into Minecraft, and we
Yeah,
are we are sitting at 497.
that's crazy.
So I'm thinking Friday. If we hit it Friday, late night stream on Friday, I'm jumping into the old block builder. Gonna see what that's all about. It'll be interesting. Y'all can see my first ever reaction to the supposed best game ever made. Pretty
it,
crazy.
Let me know what time you play, because I might be able to jump on with you. I have
Might be
Minecraft.
pretty late. Might
Okay.
be. I don't know. It kind of just depends on when the kids go to bed.
Okay. Yeah, let me know.
I'll hit you up.
So I like Slay the Spires, obviously the classic deck builder roguelike. If you're gonna start playing, Slay the Spire is like the one that kind of blew up the genre. I feel like there are other ones before it, but it was the best.
Okay.
One that I really like that I think is a lot of fun, that's pretty chill, is called Wild Frost. It's a lot
Okay.
cuter. Like The characters are cute, and like the whole thing about it is pretty cute. It's fun. Um, there's let's see, something train, Monster Train, I want to say. Yeah, Monster Train is a pretty classic one as well. But they're building a Slay the Spire too. So that was one of the big things they
Cool.
announced. That's pretty fun.
Sweet. Love it.
So, yeah. It's just a fun genre. Roguelikes in a different way where you're playing with cards instead of and like you can get a lot of the same fun out of any roguelike that's kind of a more like turn-based roguelike game like a
For sure.
deck builder or like a strategic roguelike. So,
Yeah, no, it's cool. I love these breakthrough moments in gaming where like just like this new hit game comes out and it starts like a whole new genre. Like it's fun, man. It's fun to see new stuff. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen something new, and I so wanted Balatro to win Game of the Year just because of
yeah.
how like unique and new it was. It's just
Yeah.
fantastic. But it still won. Didn't it win Indie Game of the Year? It
Yeah,
still
it
won
did.
something. Yeah.
For sure.
So absolutely deserved. Super cool game. I also the other thing about Balatro that I just love is it's a mobile game as well. Like it's on the
Yeah.
iPhone, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about that is there's so many just spam free to play games
Yeah.
on the iPhone store right now. I actually love the fact that it was just like $9.99. Just buy the game and you have it. Like none of this crap of like making extra money off of ads or anything. It was just like the game's $9.99. And then you
Yeah.
have the game. It's yours.
Well, and
Congratulations.
if you have not Niantic, if you have Apple Arcade, it's free.
Yeah. Like
So
absolutely fantastic. I
you
just
can get Slay the Spire, Apple Arcade, or a paid version of the game too on mobile. I think it's like $5 or something. Wild
do you
Frost as well. All three of those are games that you can buy on your Apple
do you
device.
have Apple Arcade? Have you used it? Like
Yeah,
I'm not very familiar with it.
I pay for the Apple family, so I get Apple Music, Apple Arcade, like Apple TV, all those things. I pay for that every month. It's like $30 to get it for your whole family. So,
That's not bad.
um,
That's not bad
yeah,
at all.
you get like extra benefits and paid games if you have Apple Arcade, but there's just a lot of free stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. So,
That is so interesting. I've always been curious because like every time I watch a what do they call it, the developers conference from Apple,
yeah.
they tend to
Okay.
mention something about gaming. And like they announced at their last one, they're like, "Oh, look at our computers playing what is like some Resident Evil game or something like that."
Yeah.
I was just like, I've always been like, like I feel like that kind of gaming you guys want to get into, like Apple wants to get into that, but at the same time, it's like they have basically the complete market share of mobile gaming, and I'm
Yeah.
surprised they don't mention that more. But I don't know, kind of interesting. I've never dove into Apple Arcade very much, but I'm sure there's some good stuff on there.
Yeah, it's I mean, I get it basically for free because I would pay for Apple Music for my whole family anyway. So
That's a good
it's
point.
worth it. Yeah, for me for sure. It's
That's a
like
really
maybe
good point.
$2 a month extra. So
Oh man, it's funny you bring up Apple Music because I have been having some issues with Spotify lately. Well, it's like
really,
crazy. Well, so it's a censorship problem. So
oh
Spotify recently has allowed people to upload like their video podcasts to their platform.
yeah,
They put it up to a broader audience. Problem is, there's not really a filter on that. So people
yeah,
are just uploading straight up not safe for work content in all its glory onto the
yeah.
platform. And it's like,
That's crazy.
whoa, I don't want to see that. Like, why is that here?
Yeah,
And like I actually wrote a like thing to their devs and I was like, guys, like you gotta fix this. This is a problem. Like they're full on just not good stuff on your platform right now. But
that's crazy.
that's like it's sad, man. Cause this is like I'm just trying to listen to music in my podcast. I don't want that popping up,
Yeah,
So that's kind of a scary thing about that that's been happening lately. But I don't know. I've every time I've tried to use Apple Music, I've just been so frustrated because I'm so used to Spotify.
yeah. I
It'd be a
used
hard switch.
Spotify in like 2011, 2012.
Okay.
But as soon as I came back from Chile in 2015 or 2016, I swapped to Apple and never looked back.
See, that's funny because I had the opposite experience when I came back from Bolivia in 20. It would have been end of 2016. I tried Apple Music first. I tried it and I was like, I can't get this to work. Like, I can't find any of the songs I want to listen to.
Yeah.
And then Spotify, like the ads were annoying, but there was that deal where you could get Spotify as a college student for
Yeah.
$5. So I was just like, "No, I'm paying for that, dude. Like, I'll
Yeah, for
sacrifice
sure.
one Taco Bell burrito for that. Like, that's fine with me." So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm pretty hard on Spotify, but yeah, lately they've done a few things and I'm just like, you're kind of ruining my experience here, bro. But anyway, that's where we're at with that.
Well, cool, man. I want to hear about your thoughts on this Portal a little bit more if you want to dive in deep about like why you think, because I've seen people really hate on it.
Yeah,
It is
I
a
have seen
weird
that.
device. It is a really weird device.
It is a unique use case. Like as soon as I thought, like I even made some posts making fun of it myself, but like the use case that really got me was the idea that I could put my PlayStation anywhere, like as
Yeah.
long as it was attached to like the router. Because like if you saw, I need to do a setup tour at some point because my setup is so garbage right now. Like my desk, like I've got my actual bread box like sitting behind my monitor because I need to attach to my my monitor that gets 120 refresh rate for playing competitive COD to relax. You
Yeah.
know,
Like
um,
I play League of Legends to relax.
we relax. It's my favorite meme on the internet right now. It's like I play video games to relax.
Yeah.
It's just not relaxing.
I get pissed off.
But yeah, like I was looking for a long time for a solution. I actually bought like before I bought a like a wireless HDMI transmitter to see if I
Uh-huh.
could get it to work that way, and it just didn't work. And then I can't like I was just scrolling through YouTube and I came across a review. Like someone made a review of the PlayStation Portal and I watched the whole thing. I can't remember whose it was. But after watching, I was like, that actually might work for me.
Yeah.
Um and the thing that he was saying, the other thing that I've been doing a lot of traveling. Like I went to CES, I got to go to GDC in
Yeah.
March. Like I've got a lot of like trips I have to go on in the next little while. And so I've been playing a lot of like usually on my phone, like I will bring my Xbox controller so I can play like Xbox
Yeah.
cloud gaming. But like with this, as long as your PlayStation is connected to the internet, you can access it from anywhere, supposedly. So you can just
So
like go and access it. Like it's basically like a remote. It becomes almost like a remote computer for you.
have you tried your just on your mobile phone doing that? Because you can do that on your phone.
Yeah. So my issue with the mobile phone, like, let me find that thing. Uh, the issue with the mobile phone, I bought this little thing for when I play Xbox, and I have
Mhm.
no idea where I put it. I was literally using it last night at my in-laws' house. Um, like I have to like again, one of the things I love about this is the screen.
Yeah.
Like I love that the screen is just it's all here. It's one package. Like whenever you're
Yeah.
playing on your phone, you have to connect your own controller to it, and then you have like your phone just kind of sitting in space,
Yeah.
and you have the controller. So like for Xbox, I literally bought this attachment where you can snap it onto the Xbox controller and then put your phone above it, and it basically gives off like the same vibe. Like you have
Yeah.
a don't you have like a backbone that you
Yeah,
can
I
use for
had
that?
a backbone. Mhm.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a backbone, but it puts it above it. And so it's
Mhm.
like your controller, and then above the controller is where you put your screen. And like as great as that is, I still just hate it. Like it's too small. The screen is so small,
Yeah.
and you just don't like I just don't feel like it was quite like the gaming experience. Whereas like I was looking at like the Switch because I've been doing that same thing I was telling you earlier with like the Switch. I would play like
Yeah.
Smash or Mario Kart or the new Mario Party game. That new Mario Party game is so fun, by the way. That is a freaking fun game. But and I was just like, man, like that screen size really does make all the difference in gaming. And so that was like one of the big things where I was like, I just want that bigger screen to be able to play games like Helldivers. Like playing Helldivers on the little phone where you
That's
kind of
true.
need to see like objectives and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is just like the perfect size in my mind. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like here, let me grab my Switch real fast. Let's compare it.
Yeah, it looks bigger than the Switch to me, honestly.
All right, so here I got my Switch, and then we got this guy. So
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
they're about the same almost. A
Oh,
little bit
yeah,
bigger, I think, on the PlayStation side.
for sure.
Um, put them like that.
Are
So
they comfortable. I mean, it looks like it's essentially just a PlayStation controller because the
It
Switch
is.
for me is not comfortable. I have to have a grip.
So yeah, I really like it because it is straight up the DualSense controller split in half with a screen
Hmm,
in the middle of it. I've had
crazy.
no issues with like holding it. Like I've played it like probably I've almost had for a week, and probably 3 out of the 7 nights that I've had this thing, I've played Helldivers on it and played like several sessions,
Hmm.
like several full length missions, where I've completed all 3 parts of the mission and whatnot, and like no complaints. And I've just been
That's
able to
awesome.
sit like wherever. Like the comfort thing is a big one.
Yeah.
I'm standing right now. Like some people might notice that like the angle's a little different. Like I'm using my standing desk right now. It's like my back has just been killing me in my chair
Really.
lately.
You got to
So
get
like
a
that.
good chair, man.
Oh, I thought I got a good chair, but apparently not. I don't know. I'm looking for chairs, boys. Everyone got recommendations.
There you go.
What is it? Secret Lab?
Secret
Yeah.
Lab.
Yeah. Yeah. Just gotta fork it out,
Yeah.
probably.
I have not had any back problems since I
Yeah.
got a Secret Lab.
I sit too much in my chair, man. I'm gonna try standing for a couple days and
Well,
see if
that's
it
what this
helps out.
is. I got a walking treadmill
Walking
underneath
treadmill,
my
yeah.
desk.
Dude, it's funny. That's actually one of the things I wish this omnidirectional treadmill I had was better at.
Yeah.
Is like letting me walk and work. Like I feel like the form factor would work really well for that
Yeah, that'd be cool.
because it's way more compact than like a treadmill, but it's so bulky. I'm gonna be making a full review on the treadmill now that I've had it for like a couple months
Cool.
because I've got some interesting feedback that I'm curious to hear if everyone agrees with me on it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude, this thing I've really liked it. And the idea that Xbox might come out with something similar, like I will be there day one. Same with the Nintendo Switch 2. Like
Yeah.
I'm just buying. I'm in the handheld phase, dude. I need to get a Steam Deck. Like I'm just like,
Yeah, you need to get a Steam Deck and let me know what you think. I think
I,
like last time we talked, we were talking about the Steam Deck a little bit. I still
we
think
did.
you should look up how to get the emulators on it because to me that's one of the coolest
Yeah,
things ever.
yeah. The emulator is fascinating. I watched a whole video where someone modded it such that they had Steam VR on it, and they were playing Steam VR on their
Cool.
headset from the Steam Deck. It didn't work well, but they were trying to prove the point that Steam could do something like that in the future.
Yeah.
So, kind of an interesting idea. I don't know. I'm like PlayStation's been teasing that they might release like a PlayStation Portable again.
Yeah.
Which like if I'm being honest, I'm not as excited about that form factor. Like this is just hit with me, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the right use case, because I don't use the PlayStation the same way everyone else does.
Yeah.
But like just the fact that I have my PlayStation now, it's over on my display. It looks awesome, but I can go and take that thing anywhere I want. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is saying I should get the Rogue Ally. Have you looked into the Rogue Ally at all?
I looked at it. I thought the Steam Deck, I mean, if you're going to buy like the high-end handheld, to me the Steam Deck just makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna spend so much money on something, you might as well get the one that works the best. And to me, the Steam Deck is the one that works the best. I've heard the Ally is good, and it is a little bit cheaper than a Steam Deck, but just to me, the Steam Deck is just the one that makes sense.
But it does essentially the same thing, right? Like you're
Yeah,
playing Steam games on a mobile platform. That's
yeah.
the
I
idea.
believe the Ally runs some type of Steam like software on there as well. It's just my experience. If a device is built from the ground up for an operating system like Mac or like a Steam Deck, it just works better with the software.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a software and then a hardware kind of fit to it,
Yeah.
it doesn't work as well. So
Can agree. Yeah, no, I'm very interested in a Steam Deck. The problem is like I just haven't been playing Steam that much. And I know like out of the Steam library, there's like even less games that work with the Steam Deck. So like I'm like, oh man, would it be worth it?
Again, like the emulation on the Steam Deck is crazy. I've seen some pretty
Yeah.
crazy stuff. You can play pretty much anything from like Xbox One back. So
that would be extremely interesting to me. I'd have to look into that. That'd be a fun one to maybe do like even a video on to like talk about
for sure.
that. because that's definitely a cool one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in kind of a handheld console phase right now.
Yeah.
Like it's again like my lifestyle. Like I have to travel to a lot of conferences and stuff during the world. I'm very mobile and like I work remotely, which is one of the greatest things ever. Like we could do a whole episode. I feel like on working remote because we've both done it now for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I've been a year.
You've done both more recently than I have. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on both. But yeah, just like the ability to play the games I want to play where I want to play them has been a huge thing for me. And so I kind of I like that direction. I'm excited to see like if Xbox actually releases a handheld. I'm curious about a PlayStation Portable coming back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I might check out the Steam Deck. Might just have to order one for science,
Write it off. Business.
Write it off. It's a write off.
Well, I have something I've been thinking about that we should do sometime on stream that I think would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I just almost completed my entire Dungeons and Dragons collection. I'm missing one book from the fifth edition alternative cover set. So I have every single book that's been released in the last 10 years in the alternative cover if it's available, or the regular cover if it's not. So
wild.
I also have been playing some smaller systems and smaller like RPGs and stuff lately. I think we should play some sort of tabletop role-playing game. We could do like a one-shot if we hit like a certain benchmark. We could live stream it.
I could be
DM
interesting.
it.
Run a D&D campaign on the podcast.
Yeah, we could do there's a really, really good starter set.
Okay.
And it has a campaign called The Lost Mines of Phandelver, which it has been like the 5th edition out of all of the resources that have come out. It's been one of, if not the most popular. People said it's an instant classic.
Okay.
So it's a campaign that I would like to run. It has a bunch of pre-made characters, but we can make characters too if you want to do that instead. But we could get more people on here and do a D&D campaign. You get like Matt Bentley. I bet he would do it.
Run a late night D&D stream, dude. I'd be down.
Cool.
That'd be fun. Yeah, chat. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Tagging into Garrett trying to play D&D. I can't imagine I'll take things too seriously. Probably gonna min-max one of my characters.
That's the best thing about D&D, man.
Dude, I'm interested in it. I feel like it's funny because like the more and more I hear about D&D, it's like every famous author right now is like, yeah, I grew up playing D&D.
Yeah,
it's like freaking what's his name? Brandon Sanderson talks about it all the time.
Well, I'm trying to pre-order his. He's coming out with his own tabletop role-playing game system. I want to get the collector's edition. It's like $300 to pre-order all the stuff for it. So that's the next thing I'm saving up for right now.
Oh my gosh. I haven't looked at his website for a while, and he has the things that he's working on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't finished I gotta finish his stinking book. I've been having the hardest time getting through the last book in his series he just published. Yeah, chat's one G-Tag. Yeah, so it's up in the air right now, chat, whether or not I'm playing G-Tag or Minecraft. Go vote. I got a vote going on YouTube right now.
Nice.
You guys get to decide whether we're jumping into the pixelated monkey game or the pixelated miner game. That sounds really bad out loud. Your
Kermit.
Xbox.
My name is Declan. I'll put it on here.
What was the other thing that happened this week?
There you go. That's how you spell it.
Gaming. Yeah, guys, if you want to, have you done any of your streaming?
No, I've been posting YouTube videos a lot.
Nice.
Like right now I'm posting once a week, working on some tutorials for Niantic Studio, but I should do some live streaming. I would like to, if we have time today, play some Rivals because I've been freaking killing it, dude. I got Sue Storm. Susan Storm main now.
Of course. Man, I don't blame you. She's fun to look at from behind.
I got the cosmetic.
Of course you did.
We talked about her.
We did talk about her last time. You guys haven't seen that episode? Go and check it out.
Yeah, episode 13.
Taste stop storage. We have Okay. What was I looking at? There was another. I can't remember what that other thing was. Gosh dang it. There was something. Yeah, I'm looking on IGN.com right now, and like one of the
Okay.
first things in their news is save $200 off the Asus ROG Ally.
There you
Great.
go. They're listening.
They heard me. They know.
That's funny.
Nah, it's been
That'd
funny.
be crazy if it's on sale right now.
It looks like it is, but I'm like you, dude. I would rather get the thing that's built for the system because otherwise you just
Yeah.
run into weird stuff. And I actually haven't ROG Republic of Gamers. I've had some pretty bad experiences with them.
Me
Same
too.
with Asus. So I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna hold off. But yeah, there's this Nintendo Switch 2. I'm excited, dude. 24 player Mario Kart.
Yeah. We're gonna have to
That
get a group together for that.
Imagine getting 24th on Mario Kart.
Dude, that'd be a fun streaming game.
Bring everyone in, just a
Yeah, you could
huge.
get your whole chat.
We did that. So we actually, this is one of the cool things about Fortnite that I will point out. I've been playing a decent amount of Fortnite lately.
Yeah.
Both with, I have a brother-in-law that plays the crap out of it and he's really good at it. So I kind of play it with him sometimes. And then I've jumped into it with chat a few times. And we literally like loaded up a lobby of like, it was like 20 or 30 people.
That's fun.
And then we jumped into a game mode where everyone could jump in. And it
Yeah.
was so much fun. I was literally just letting like anyone and everyone come into the stream and jump onto the Fortnite. It was so freaking cool. We got people in, we were playing these game modes, and then like the game mode that we were playing was called Brain Rot Box Fights,
Okay.
which is, it's such a funny game mode, dude. That's like so hilarious to me. But you know, we got like so many people into it, and it was cool because like some people would try to like come and protect me because like, yo, you're the one that's streaming, like let's get this guy first place, because I was just absolute garbage. And then there was these people that were actually just incredible, and they would go crazy. It was such a fun thing. Like I love that there's this kind of niche in like streaming of games
Yeah.
where you can actually play with your chat. And there's
Yeah,
not
for
very
sure.
many of them. Like Fortnite is, might be one of the reasons why it stays relevant, is because they have so many things you can do with so many people, you know? Like,
So I
anyway.
remember back in the day, season 3 of League of Legends, I think is what it is, 3 or 4. My favorite team was Team Solo Mid,
Okay.
and my favorite player was Soren Bjorgensen. He came over from, I can't even remember where in Europe, but he played for a team called Ninjas in Pajamas in season 2, and then season 3, he came to the North America and played for Team Solo Mid. And
Okay.
he, on his live streams, would do subscriber only ARAM games where you could play against him. So I used to get to play against him a ton as like this kid in high school that just loved League of Legends, playing against, you know, my favorite pro and stuff. It was so much fun.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember the other thing. The new Call of Duty season just got announced,
Ah,
and I am stoked about it. Oh, so I'm very curious though. So supposedly with this new season with Call of Duty, they are going to be dropping a huge kernel level anti-cheat system to hopefully stop a lot of the cheating. They've also said they're going to re-enable the ability to only play with console players.
okay.
And that's gonna be huge, I
Yeah.
think, for the cheating, because it is so much harder to get cheats and hacks
Yeah.
and stuff on the Xbox itself. So very much excited about that. It looked like from the trailer that I was watching, it looked like they brought back Hijacked from Black Ops 2.
Oh, cool.
But I don't actually think it is. I think it's a Hijack Spirit successor. But I don't know. I'm excited about that. The cheating thing has been such an interesting.
Dude, it's such a
like-
hard thing.
It's so hard, and it's sad because like there's a couple of like pro COD players who have said like I'm not playing anymore. I
Yeah.
can't. Like they're saying that even in the top, like the ranked matchmaking at the very top, like some of the top 250 players, like they're saying
Cheaters.
they'd be willing to bet that 30 to 40% of them are just hacks. Like they
That's
just have
crazy.
hacks enabled. And it's sad. Like I mean, there isn't a day that goes by when I play COD where I'm like, okay, that was super suspicious. There's no way you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I'd be so curious to actually like do like a study of figuring out like how often people are actually cheating
Yeah.
versus like what is perceived cheating at this point. Because basically, anytime someone is like really good and has good aim, you're just like you're cheating, like you're just a
Yeah.
cheater, and that's like kind of ruining the game because everyone is accusing everyone of cheating and what is actually cheating, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's for sure.
I'm really hoping that fixes it because it really is a problem. Like I have some clips of just some of the craziest things that have happened, and it's just like there's no way you knew that, you know,
Yeah.
just like anyway, it's such a pain, and it's just sad because like most of us who are getting on COD are trying to relax,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, and it's just like holy fetch, like how is it that we have to deal with these people who are just like they're
Cheating.
either just godly good at the game somehow or they're just hacking, you know, and it
Yeah.
just kind of ruins the fun of it. Like it's supposed to be competitive, it's supposed to be fun, but if the whole time you're questioning if someone's cheating,
It's
it
not
just
fun.
ruins it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
We got some interesting questions. Um, what do you think about games pushing to look so real? We talked about that a lot on here.
We have talked about that a few times.
I personally don't like it. I'm not a
I
huge fan of super realistic, hyper realistic graphics and gameplay. Like I'm playing a video game for escapism, so I want something cool that isn't real and is stylized, and that's my preference, but that might just be me. Like I
no,
love Marvel Rivals art. It's so good.
it's great. It's like it's good to the point it needs to be. And it kind of gets into this like this discussion of like uncanny valley.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like the harder people are pushing for realism, the further it's actually getting from us. Because there's just always going to be that separation of like, I know this is a video game,
Yeah.
you know? And again, like I think you hit it right on the head where it's like, you don't play video games to live your second life. You play video games to escape, you
Yeah, for
know?
sure.
Like you play, I always tell people like playing video games is like fulfilling your wish. You
Yeah,
play a video game because you want to do something you've never done before,
for sure.
right? And so like you know like when I'm playing like a VR game that I've been playing a lot lately is called Tactical Assault VR,
Mhm.
and it's basically like what do you call it? It's a tactical shooter where it's
Mhm.
like you go into simulations of like counterterrorism or
Yeah.
like hostage situations. I love those kinds of games. And it's a low poly, very low pixelated game, but it is so much fun
Yeah.
because especially in VR, you get that whole feeling of like sweeping rooms. You get to physically break open doors and people are shooting at like it's so much fun, but it's like I don't actually want that in full res. You know, I don't want to pretend to be, a Navy SEAL with someone who I can see the pores of their eyes and
Yeah.
whatnot, you know. The more and more I've seen of popular games lately is I feel like they're kind of going back on graphics. They're like, let's just actually make a good game and not a graphic game. Because if you're selling your game on the graphics, you probably missed out on gameplay. I feel like it's a trifecta. Like you can only have one or the other.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, I guess it makes sense for some games, but to me, the only companies that can really accomplish that are AAA, and they're putting so much money into that. I would rather them put more money into different parts of their like game development other than just the graphics. And then I know it depends on the engine, but I don't know.
That's like a great point. Like, I think a lot about Ubisoft right now,
Yeah.
who's in a very tricky situation. They've been a long time AAA studio that's been able to produce pretty good content until
Yeah.
recently. And I keep thinking, like, what would I do to save that company if like I were in charge? And the thing that I keep coming back to is it's like, just like instead of spending 20-30 million dollars or like $300 million on some of their games, like divide it up into like 20 projects that are $20 million projects or like 100 products that are $2 million projects, and just do a bunch of simple things and see what hits. They keep trying to make these big budget things and they just flop. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, go back to the indie a little bit, go back to the innovation, go back to what makes games fun. Quit trying to make it so that it's all about the monetization.
Yeah.
It's just there's like a critical mass you reach as a game developer where it's like it's now about money and it's no longer about fun. And it's sad. It's like a sad moment to hit. Like I've tried with my personal game development studio, I've tried really hard to keep the team small and lean because like I just don't want like that pressure of like having to only think about the monetization to keep people alive. I want the
Yeah,
game to be fun. I want the game to come first.
and I
You
get
know,
it. Devs need to make money. Like,
you do. If you do it for a job, you gotta have money. Life costs
yeah,
money. That's how it is.
but you gotta like cut things, like scope creep and trying. I don't know. People are just trying to do too much in video games now. That's my biggest complaint with video games.
100%.
Like the games that I make are very simple and they do something really simple. The videos that I make are about like making very simple mechanics inside of a video game. So people still have fun with those types of games. There's a reason I feel like people play mobile games so much, and most of those are really, really simple. But it's like you're sitting on the toilet and you pull out a game and you play something super simple that's really chill, Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
still the majority of things I feel like people play.
Well,
Like my
and like
wife plays more video games than I do because she plays freaking
mobile games.
mobile games all the time. So
Yeah. No, it makes sense. And like VR has been an interesting kind of like cross section of gaming because it's like, okay,
yeah,
like what works? And what works is very simplistic ideas, you know? Like I would argue that Sail VR is one of the more complicated VR games on the market right now. Like it has a lot more mechanics to it. And it's
yeah,
it's being beat by games like, Gorilla Tag, where there's basically you're a
me
monkey.
slap ground.
Yeah, me slap ground and slap monkey, you
Yeah,
know? And like there's a game called Animal Company where it's like it's Gorilla Tag, but you just bring stuff back to the base and run away from these monsters, you know?
yeah.
Like it's these simple ideas. Like one of my favorite games to play is actually Jordan from Throwback Studio. His game Derby is so fun to play. You
Yeah,
just sit in there and you hit home runs. Woo!
hit
It's just like
dinkers. Is that what they say?
they what?
I'm gonna hit doinks. That's what it was.
Binks or what do they call it? What did we call it? We call it something else. I played baseball through high school. What do we
Yeah,
call them? Dingers.
dingers.
Dingers. Hit dingers.
Yeah,
But dude, like just something about just sitting there and like the ball just comes and you're just cranking freaking just to the moon these like home runs. That's a
yeah,
ton of fun.
yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. Like I feel like these AAA studios are like, oh, the other thing that AAA studios don't do is I don't think they get their community involved soon enough when it comes to development.
100%.
They're so locked down. They're like, you can't know about this project,
Yeah,
and they do everything based off of like data and whatnot.
they make
And it's
something nobody actually wants to play.
yeah, like they go to release it and everyone's like, who asked for this? Like honestly, you know? Or they release something that people want, but it like has the wrong mechanics. Like again, going back to Ubisoft, they released that Skull and Bones game,
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, people wanted another pirate game. That would have been fun, but it's like
that was a neat.
you built the pirate game with the mechanics that everybody hated from your last pirate game.
Yeah,
It's like, what were you thinking?
yeah.
Like, yeah, Pirates would have gone hard as like an MMO type thing from Ubisoft, but instead they built Pirate Ship Simulator 2025. It's just, it was garbage.
To me, the biggest thing will always be BlizzCon, Diablo Immortal.
Yep.
What,
Yep.
do you guys not have phones? That whole thing when they were getting
Oh,
booed off of their own
so
stage.
out of touch, dude.
Yeah,
And it's like, I don't know. I feel like we're in this stage of game development where like the existing reigning champions are fading.
yeah,
Like Activision just got bought out by Microsoft and they're just gonna keep cranking out COD games and that'll be fine. Ubisoft is in like a super hard position.
yeah,
DICE hasn't had a good Battlefield game in a while. Like all these previous 10 years, like the reigning champions are struggling to
yeah,
find their audience. And then there's these new players that are coming up that are beating them. People like Lethal Company, people like Balatro, they're creating actually fun games and it's shifting the tide of all the like game development. And I am so curious to see like what that turns into,
yeah.
because like
for
now
sure.
we got studios like Arrowhead that had an absolute banger of a game with Helldivers,
Yeah,
and now they have all the money in the world to make more games. And it's like they understand at a fundamental level how to make something fun. So like, yeah, good stuff's
and
coming. I just really feel like good stuff is coming.
to me, the biggest thing is going to be, will Sony be able to keep their hands out of it enough? So, like, the best analogy, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. and they always have all the potential. They have good players, they get good coaches, but freaking Jerry Jones cannot keep his hands out of the football team, and he screws everything up. It's like Sony with, each studio that they own. Like, are they going to be able to keep their hands out long enough
Yeah.
to essentially let the studios make something that they love with the money that they're able to get? Or are they
Yeah.
going to try and force their own agenda into the video game? So it'll be interesting.
I'm very curious to see what happens,
Yeah.
but I think that's one of the reasons why Nintendo has continually been successful is they know, like, they've kind of created their own walled off ecosystem, and they
Yeah.
have their exclusives and they have their companies, but they know, like, if the game isn't fun, it won't sell. So make it fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see, man. That's what this podcast is for, is to keep the pulse on the game development life.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I know there's been a lot of new names that I haven't seen today. So just as like an update, or I guess Garrett and I both do game development. Garrett is focused on VR games. I make a lot of AR games. I've been doing actually a lot of web games recently. So, but yeah, like if you guys ever have questions about development, I know there was somebody in here earlier that was asking about like where to get started or tips. Try and pick an engine and stick with it and just learn that engine. Like that's the best thing that I think probably either one of us could tell you is just learn a game engine and stick with it, and then try and find creators that have made content, because there's so much content. If you want the most content, I would say pick Unity.
Unity is definitely better for tutorials. Can agree.
But if you are interested in like Godot, which is a free open source studio, there's good enough content for that. If you're interested in like Unreal Engine, go ahead and try that. There's stuff. I'm starting to make content for a very small engine called Niantic Studio that is starting to grow. It's a web-based engine, so there's a lot of fun stuff out there. You can pick any engine really and just keep going and try and copy the mechanics of some of your favorite games. So
yeah, like honestly, like the story of how I made Cell VR, guys, is like I had an idea for a game I wanted to make, and I learned the basics of Unity, and then I just started making the game. Like I knew nothing about like game development, but just because I knew what I wanted to make, like I figured it out. So like that's like my honest recommendation is like if you have an idea for a game, try to make it. Try different engines. Try like straight up, you can make a game in Fortnite nowadays or Roblox. Like if you find a way to make it, just that it works for you and you can figure it out, that's what's important, and just keep trying. Like persistence is the biggest thing when it comes to game development for sure.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of segues. We're hoping next week we're going to have a guest on the podcast. So when Garrett and I were both in college, this guy kind of started his YouTube career as a VR YouTuber, with a specialization in Unity development, making Quest games, and I guess back then it was Oculus games. So his name's Dilmer Valasios. He's one of the biggest developers on YouTube in our industry. Most likely, if you've ever built a VR game, you've learned from some of his tutorials. I know I have used his tutorials a ton, but he's also become a really good friend of both Garrett and I. So we're hoping next week to have him on the podcast. And he actually was just hired by Meta to be a developer advocate. So he'll be working directly with developers trying to get onto the Meta platform, trying to learn how to make stuff for the Quest. He's a really cool guy, and we're super excited to talk to him and learn more about his story.
He's going to be an awesome story. So tune in next week, guys. Same time as always. It's 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're live here on YouTube, Twitch. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, guys, there is an official Practically Reality Podcast YouTube channel. Should be linked in the bio if you're on YouTube. Go check that out. Make sure you're subscribed there. You can get clips of the podcast throughout the week and whatnot. And we're back on TikTok since TikTok isn't banned.
Woo!
Woo! So you can find us there. And yeah.
I'm posting in chat Dilmer's YouTube. I guess maybe you guys can't see that. I'll post it in Garrett's chat since most of you are probably on his YouTube.
Yeah, I think I can copy and paste it over as well. Nope, I can't. I don't know what's going on.
There you go. I gotcha.
So yeah. So we're gonna jump into some rivals.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm down.
I'm down to play some Rivals as well.
Sick.
I gotta figure out what's going on with my setup. Yeah, chat. I gotta make a setup tour so you guys can see how bad it is, and so we can make improvements. That's what needs to happen.
Just record it, man. Content.
You know, that would be an interesting podcast episode. We should talk about like the tech we actually use and the tech that we don't use in like our day-to-day stuff. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would definitely go over that. That'd be a good one. If you guys want like a more dev-centric podcast episode, let us know. We can talk about, I guess, where we started and what we do. So,
Or what we'd even do if we heard starting over like
yeah,
in
for sure.
2025. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that is the episode today. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to jump right back on stream in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes me to unplug and replug all the things I need to.
Yeah.
Do some more live streaming. But you guys can find us on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. If you want to find us, look for Practically Rowdy Podcasts. If you haven't followed Declan already, go and check him out, guys. He is linked in the bio. And we'll be back next week with more gaming, tech, and future news.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in Marvel Rivals in a couple minutes.